Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Woo! It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Oh, turn the music on. Have me on the right window so I can see myself. I can see me. You can see you. We're all good. We're all good. How's everyone doing today? This isn't a Prusa. No, it's not. But some of you have been waiting for this, and it's finally here. And I'm so giddy. So if you don't follow me on Twitter or on Discord, you should join the Discord. Link in the description below. Or follow me on Twitter, that hive of scum and villainy. I hate that site, but you know what? It's the best social media site for what it is. But I've been talking about this for a while. I've been trying to get my hands on one of these for over a year. It's been a while. But this it showed up yesterday, an Polymaker. Which Polymaker is it? Well, as you can see there, from my horribly framed camera, that's not aimed at the thing it's supposed to be aimed at, and it's not tilted at the right angle. It's an Polymaker original. Not Polymaker 2, not Polymaker Original Plus. We're talking acrylic bed Polymaker. This is the bed. It is a big, thick sheet of acrylic or plexiglass. I don't know, what is it? Acrylic. And here's the manual. And it's all made out of wood. I cannot wait to build this. So yeah. So obviously we're not doing this today. Today's Prusa Day. So we're carrying on with part 2 of the Prusa Mk4 build. We're gonna start this not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We'll be doing Polymaker builds. This kit, as far as I know, has everything. It was open though. The previous owner of the kit had opened it and had gone through it and apparently put everything back. There's a lot of empty space in this box. I'm hoping it was padding. If we run into shortages of stuff, like it's gonna be, this build is gonna be fun. That's all I'm gonna say. I think I have everything. I should have everything, but yeah. Do I have AC in the garage yet? No. It is currently 27.6 Celsius in here. So I'm waiting till next month to do the AC because I gotta wait for those that don't know how most things in the content creator sphere work. It's monthly. So I'm waiting for this month to wrap up so I can make sure I'm not carrying. I'm one of those people, I don't carry debts. I pay off my credit card monthly and all that. So I'm waiting for this month to be up, YouTube to give me my money, and along with Patreon and everyone else that I use. And then we'll go look at AC. But right now I've got a fan. Also, I've got all these fans that are watching me. Hi. Build tack polycarb. Oh yeah, I got blue tape. Yeah, if you guys wondering bed adhesion on a Polymaker, there you go. That's bed adhesion on an Polymaker. Attic insulation when? I don't know. I tried calling the guy on Friday there, and he never got back to me. So I really got to figure out what's going on because it's starting to get hot in here. And no, I'm not taking off all my clothes. We're on YouTube. I can't do that. This ain't kick. So yeah, running out of floor space. Oh yeah, so we're building the Prusa. I've got a Cheaty X+3 here that we're unboxing on Friday. I've got a VZBot 330 kit right here. Apparently, Creality is sending me the K1 finally. We've got the Polymaker. We got to finish up. We're almost done the, oh, you can't see it on the camera. We're almost done the Rook. Yeah. Remember when we had room out here like 2 weeks ago? Imagine if I was still just in the basement. Then we'd be screwed. Then we would be screwed. This Voron shirt, by the way, was custom made for Rocky Mountain for just the Voron team. So there's like, you can't go anywhere and buy it. Why 330? Because that's what they wanted to send to me. So that's what I got. Did I figure out the issue with the Rook? Yeah, I reprinted the shroud here. So this shroud, see how the fan slot is ovaled? It should, actually, I can't put it in right now. I got to still unsolder it all. Wife's on vacation this week, so we've been doing family stuff, so I've been kind of not in here much. But yeah, today we're carrying on with part 2 of the Prusa build. So let me, Prusa Mk4 instructions. Okay. There we go, kit assembly. Okay, so we finished part 1 and part 2. So now we're on to the Z axis. So before we get started though, as always, make sure you enter every stream. We give away a spool of filament from Polymaker. Link in the video description. So enter for your chance to win the filament there. We'll do the draw at the end of the stream. The stream, we should end around 3. I may end a little earlier just because we're doing some family stuff tonight, and I might just have to end earlier for that. And then also, this build is sponsored by you and me, because I had to buy this kit myself. So if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, or just check out some of the affiliate links in the video description. Don't cost you anything extra, go a long way in supporting the channel, and who knows, by the end of this series, I might break even with this. So let's carry on with part 2 of this build. So where we left off, we have our X-axis assembled. We have our frame assembled. We have the power supply installed, and we have our controller board installed. So now we're on to the Z assembly. So let me here. So we got Z-axis assembly here. There's our tools we'll need. I've got a box of stuff here. So let me kind of put everything back out on the shelf so I have some room here. And we'll carry on. Hello from Sweden. Hello there. Got a box of printed parts. Don't need that, don't need that. I will need this. Leave the motor kit there. I'll leave that there, and I'll leave that in there. Okay, so we'll leave that there. We'll see what we get. The Prusa XL will have, yeah, we're gonna have to milk that Prusa XL for all it's worth to break even on that. Do I have a black one? No, yes, I went with the black kit, so all the parts are black. The reason I went with black is everyone builds the orange and black, and I want to be different. And also, at some point, I will be reprinting these parts in something that's not PETG. So yeah. So I figure, hey, we'll do something a little different, and then also I'm going to be replacing all these parts anyways. Okay, so assembling the Z bottoms. So we need the Z bottoms. Personally, I prefer apple bottoms, but you know, got to use what you got, what you've been given. Hello from not Sweden. Hello. So we got that. We got that. Oh, and what else? So Friday will be the Cheaty X Smart 3, not the X Plus. So not the X Max, so the medium size one that's still kind of big. And then that is that. And then Sunday, so Saturday is Rook, hopefully the last Rook build. And then Sunday, I'm going to be on Grant's stream. So Grant is, I think he does it live. I don't think he does it like recorded, edit, and put. I think it is live. I will be on stream with Grant on his channel, 3D Musketeers. So Sunday, I think 1 Eastern, I think. Boots with the fur, exactly. Okay. So I'll put you over here. Put this here, so we got those. Okay, M310 screws, okay. So where did I put the screws? Now remember there being all the screws. Is this it? No. No, because I put them all in a Ziploc. Ah, here we go. There we go. Florida man. Yep, I'll be hanging out with Florida man. Florida printing man. Okay, so M310s. M310s. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Mark IV is a expensive bed flanger. It is, and honestly, okay, we're gonna have to have a little talk at some point about bed flingers, because I don't want to say I popularized the term, but it was a term I used a lot, and then I noticed other people using, and now it's kind of turned into a derogatory term, which in some cases it is. You could build a good bed flinger, okay? It's if you notice, there's usually if I'm talking down about bed flingers, it's usually cheap V-wheel bed flingers. The actual bed flinging motion system, I don't know about you, we had $20, $30, $40, $50,000 CNC machines at the shop I worked at that worked with moving beds. They were fine. You could build a moving bed, fine, especially nowadays with proper motion, proper controllers and input shaping and all that. The bed flinger isn't as, you could do more with it. So it being a bed flinger, like, to be honest, a Delta is cheaper to make because you just got 3 similar axes. But we don't see a lot of Deltas because Deltas have downsides. So a Bridgeport, yeah, Bridgeport's a bed flinger. So you can build a good bed flinger. Okay, you look at the Wuxen. Okay, you want a beefcake of a bed flinger. Look at the Wuxen. Okay, that thing's all rails and whatnot. You can build it. You can build a good bed flinger, especially with things like input shaper and proper drivers and whatnot that we have nowadays. It's not as much of a detriment as it used to be. Back in the days when it was an acrylic framed ANET A8, yeah, bed flingers were kind of, you know, that's why Deltas were kind of popular in the early days of 3D printing if you wanted to go fast. And then we came up with, Core XY started to take over. Okay, warning, printed parts aren't the same. There is a left and right piece. See the protrusion tooth on each side. Ooh, there's teethies. Okay, that goes there, and that goes there. Okay, let's mount this. So you go there, and you go there. Okay. So yeah. V-Minion. Yeah, the V-Minion's good. The thing, I don't use it a lot just because I don't need to. My V-Minion's an open air printer, and I tend to not use my open air printers that much. Voron Delta 1? Never. Delta, here's the thing. You want a Voron Delta, it's called a V2. It does everything a Delta does, but better. The bed doesn't move. It's a motion system that's a bit better. Problem with Deltas, Deltas have issues with a step isn't the same. It has the same issue that a Polar printer has, where a step distance can change depending on where the effector is. Like, I think it's near the bottom of the towers, or is it midway between the towers? It like technically loses accuracy and you have to compensate for that in firmware or something. Yeah, Cartesian printers aren't going anywhere. I mean, think about it. All these companies are gonna get a second life. They're just gonna take their warehouses full of existing bed flingers and just slap Clipper on it and go to sell them as new machines. V2 is complicated though. Not really. Once you build it like a half dozen times on a live stream in front of several hundred people, it becomes easy. Yeah. I mean, hey, we're bringing Tico back. Which one is my favorite? The V2. V2 250 is my go-to Voron. Although I've been using my 300 a bit more lately. Try it 250. Nice. Why 250 over 300? Because I don't usually print that big. Most things I print are printer parts. So I'm printing plates of printer parts. And I usually don't max out plates just for the fact that, especially, you know, if ABS, if one part fails, they all fail. Although I do need to put the whatchamacallit so I can cancel objects. But most of these are running Clipper 10. I got to do some updates on all my printers at some point, which is going to be a fun live stream. Go as big as you need, not as big as you want. It's easier to tune a machine that's smaller. They use less power. You get a hotter chamber, which is better for ABS. So build as big as you need, not as big as you want. Although, for the most part, I will say more people will get more out of a 300 than a 250. There's a reason LDO doesn't really offer 250 kits for the V2. They just don't. There's not a lot of demand for it, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, so we've got these on. Now we need our Z motors. Sweet. Let's see here. Okay. So let's see here. So this is Z axis right, and this is Z axis left. I'm assuming that's looking at it from the front. Yeah, so left and right. And then we're gonna need these plastic parts and some screws. So that's next extruder, Z axis, Z axis, Y carriage, screen, Y carriage. Where are those parts at? Where are those parts at? Are these in? Well, that's next year. That's Y carriage and heat bed. Am I missing parts? No, that's all in there. Okay, let's Y carriage, XLCD. I'm looking for these printed parts. Are those printed? Oh, those are rubber pads. Those are rubber pads. They're not printed. Okay. I'm like, where are those printed parts? I don't see those printed parts. Those are rubber pads. Any news on the positron? It'll be done when it's done. Okay, so fasteners. Okay, Y carriage and heat bed. XLCD. Next extruder parts. There's that. Ah, here we go. Here's the rubber parts. Okay. So we got rubber pad. M310s. I will say I was almost late for the stream today because new Armored Core video by Vatividya came out, and I was like, oh yeah, I cannot wait for that game. Okay, that, and to avoid accidentally discarding part, prepare the trapezoidal nuts from the printer box and keep them safe place. You'll need them in a few steps. Okay. where to get a good cast aluminum toilet plate. Honestly, just buy one from like one of the kit manufacturers. Like buy the LDO one and call it a day. That's probably your easiest bet, honestly. Like the days of self-sourcing everything are kind of at its end with Voron. It's almost not worth it to self-source anymore, unless like very specific conditions. If you know, it's easier to just hop on like Printed Solid or Sparta 3D or any of the KB 3D, Fabrico, any of the LDO resellers or kit resellers, and just buy the part. It's almost not worth it anymore to self-source. Place the rubber pads on there. Make sure the holes of the pads align. Okay, I could do that. Is there a top or a bottom? It doesn't really matter. You could tell they put the kit together already because there's like, focus, 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 focus. Focus on the thing. Focus. Focus. Come on, come on. Anyways, there's little marks. You can see that screws have tightened on these before. So they have double checked and made sure this kit works. Well, I need one that's 420 by 420. That's the funny number. If you have to self-source because your bed's not a spec bed or something like that, then check the Voron design website. There's a sourcing guide and there might be links. The thing is, when I sourced beds for mine back in the day, I went to a local metal shop and just ordered through them, like locally. Yeah. You might be able to get, like, if you're looking for something Gucci, maybe Mandela Rose works. You can get a custom one. Each motor, do not tighten them completely at the moment. Okay, so part sourcing channel, that would be a good option too. Any opinion on Spool 3D? Spool 3D kits are LDO kits, which are good. Or actually, no. Actually, Spool. I was thinking Sparta 3D. I think Spool 3D. I don't know if they. Let me pull it up here. Let's see here. No, you think I'd be able to spell Voron by now? Voron printed kit. Yeah, they got LDO kits. Yeah, LDO kits. Out of stock right now. LDO kit. Usually if it's an LDO kit, they'll 3D kit by Spool 3D. Okay. Ooh, that's kind of pricey even for Canadian. If they don't say it's an LDO kit, assume it's not an LDO kit. Either completely self-sourced or they might be using like a Physek or a Formbot kit and renaming it. So I know that was a thing. You can always, you know, just ask them. Like it doesn't hurt to just send an email. Hey, where is your Voron kit sourced by? Yeah, I wouldn't know. You'd have to ask them. The snake oil printer, which is based on V24. How is it based on V24? V24 isn't released and will never be released. Something that is derived from V24 will be released. But V24 is literally a printer from 2016 that's been updated. So you go underneath there. through the right axis. Always double check your labeling. If you have to install 20 things, right, and they're all labeled, okay, when you get to that last part, double check and make sure it's the right one, because I've had it before and it's super annoying when it happens, where you install everything and then you get to the last one and it doesn't go in and you're like, what the heck? And then you look and you're like, I'm supposed to put part D in and I'm holding part E. That means I screwed up earlier and I didn't catch it till the end. So always check your labeling. Because what happens is you just put it in because it might be close enough that it might work, but it might not until later on and the wires don't reach, or it's too thick or too thin. Rose out of the meetings. Are you watching my streams on company time right now? Based on the presentation of the V24. Well, at least they're calling it the snake oil and calling it their own thing instead of, oh, it's V24 R3. Yes, why wouldn't I? Okay. Who isn't multitasking? Okay. I mean, fair to you. I'm not gonna call you out, you know. Ugh. I mean, technically, I'm on the clock right now too, right? Any new drama in the streaming world? Not really. There's not a lot of drama in 3D printing streaming, I think. Really. At least on YouTube. I don't know what goes on Twitch. I don't watch Twitch. Well, I watch Twitch. I don't watch 3D printing Twitch. Okay, so we've got these in. So that just goes, oh, we're plugging in the motors already. Okay, cool. So how does that guide the Z under the frame towards the buddy box to connect the cables to the 3rd and 4th slot? Okay. I can do that. Back to the AirPods. I'm only using the AirPods just for the fact that I'm in the garage. The IEMs with the Bluetooth DAC are in the basement. And they're synced to that computer down there. Whereas the AirPods I keep out in the garage and they're in this computer because I wear these when I'm like doing yard work, like cutting the grass and whatnot. So these are just happen to be in the garage already because I use them when I'm cutting the grass. Okay, so ZR, so that's right. I really need to get an overhead camera. I've been hunting down, like keeping an eye on like, also, look at these motor connectors. They're, I know you can't really, I can't really zoom in. I can do this. This ain't no JST bullshit. These are actual, like, proper locking connectors. I've been following, like, keeping an eye on the used marketplace and everything because I do need to get a new camera for out here. And just nothing has shown up yet. So, how much is the Prusa kit? First link in the description. It depends on where you live in the world. It costs monies, more than one. Costs more than one monies. What about a boom mic? I don't use mics because I use lavs. Okay, if I were to use a mic, the problem with the mic is I do stuff like this where I like wander around and talk at stuff and I'm not always facing the same direction. So I use a lav. I got a wireless lav, which I need to buy another one because I keep using the same lav out here as I do in the basement. And it's getting kind of annoying having to move those two. You know, I have a actual like high quality DJI lav set right here, but this is I use for videos. So because I'm always moving around and I'm not always facing the same direction, I don't use a shotgun mic or anything like that. If I was sitting on my butt the whole stream, or if I didn't move, maybe that would make more sense. But because I'm moving a lot, I use lavs, or a lav. So I'm waiting on the Rode Mic ME to go on sale. I'm gonna grab one of those. So, because somebody was nice enough to give me a lav at Murph, but unfortunately, the audio quality ain't what I would prefer. You guys heard it on some of the first streams out here. You think do I think this is a bit bad? Hi, I speak English occasionally. Do you think the build so far? The build it's a Prusa build. I love build, like I've only built one proper Prusa to date, a Mark III. I did build a clone or clone mini, and it had some issues. But building actual Prusas, they're a great build. The instructions are very clean. The build just goes together well. Like, it's a fun build. It's like building Lego. Like, it just works. Okay, for the following steps, please, I'm gonna need 2 trapezoidal nuts. Okay. How the Hanamames? Oh, they're fine. Is creaking an issue? Nope. Why would they creak? 2 M410s. Yeah, I've been using the Hanamames on my, like they're my main go-to right now. So for those, smooth rod, 10 mil. That. And X holder. Oh, we need this tool again. Fancy. Fancy. Can I have the gummies? I have the gummies here, although they're in the garage and it gets hot in here. So they might be a little, the gummies might be a little gummy, if you catch my drift. I just dropped 5K on a fiber laser. Oof. I would love a fiber laser. It goes away when you make 20. You made 20 grand on your fiber laser. What do you do? Like a little Etsy store or Facebook shop or something? That's something I really got to do. I have all these printers and I don't do anything with them other than like for the channel and personal stuff. Like I don't have an Etsy store. I'm not printing stuff to sell. Like you watch a video of Uncle Jesse's like, I made 40 grand selling these little printed ghost thingies. And I'm like, I really should be doing that. Then again, I'm on the Voron team, so being a horrible businessman is like kind of the trend there. Okay. Gently insert the smooth rods into the Z bottoms. Do not apply too much force and do not tilt the rod. If the rods are dirty or have too much preservation oil, wipe them clean. Okay. Piff supplier. Piff, I did Piff. I've done 20 or 30 Piff kits, but this was back in the V 2.1 days, I want to say. I don't have time for Piff, put it that way. Piff takes up actually quite a bit of time if you're doing it at a scale. I just, between the channel and everything, I don't have time to have a bunch of printers running nonstop, constantly boxing parts, shipping. Also, I'm in Canada, shipping sucks, and it kind of kills a lot of the benefit. Aha. So. There we go. I know I'm still in the Piff listing, but I haven't done a Piff job since. The last Piff job I did was a V2.1, put it that way. Pretty much when the channel started to become a thing, I stopped doing Piff because I just didn't have time to do both. There we go. When in doubt, hammer time. And Piff isn't really a profitable venture. Some people do okay with Piff, but they're the ones doing they've got a dozen printers doing Piff nonstop. And even then, the ROI is actually not that great. Okay. Carefully slide the Z-axis assembly onto the smooth rods. Secure the position of the X-axis of the frame. Engage the X holder in the center. Oh! Oh, that's clever. That is clever. That is clever. So we get our X-axis here. Okay. We let's see here. slide this in. Should I have put the nuts? Did the nuts go on the top? Oh yeah, they go on the top. Okay. There you go there. Okay, so that slides in. And then this is really cool. You take that little hook that we used earlier for guiding the it just hooks on. And it holds your Z-axis up. That's clever. That's clever. I like that. Clean off the excess grease. So it just holds your Z-axis up. So normally I use like a zip tie or something. And they got that little printed part that does it. Smart. Clever. With PIF, do you choose the color? Usually they have like a stock of a few colors. How would one print ASA on a Prusa to replace Prusa PC components to print as is closed? I tried 90 part and tried to cover but kept warping with no consistency. If your parts are warping on a Prusa, 100 bed, what, you're trying 90 by 90? Is that the size of the part? How hot are you printing? Try at least 90, 100 C on the bed. Print with a brim. There is no shame in printing with a brim. I still use brims on parts, depending on the geometry. And then enclose the printer as best you can. So don't be enclosing it with a box this big. Enclose it with the smallest box, smallest enclosure you can. Also, before you start the print, heat soak. So turn the bed on to like 100 C and just let it sit there for half an hour. Let the whole chamber get warm and then print. Yeah. Have I tried getting Clipper running on Bamboo? No, you'll never get Clipper running on a Bamboo. The Bamboo controller is a Spintrol MCU, which is pretty much the same thing that DJI uses. Surprise, surprise. So you have as much luck of getting Clipper running on a Bamboo as you do getting Betaflight running on a DJI quadcopter. Bootloader's locked down. I don't even think there's accessible UART or USB to even talk to the controller. There's multiple different controllers, so you need to be able to hack the screen controller, because that handles all the communication, the driver board controller that controls the movement, and the tool head board. And you want to bet they're all running different firmwares. So yeah, you're not hacking a Bamboo to put Clipper on it. I'm going to say never. It'll be a massive surprise if somebody even gets that thing moving under a non-standard operating system anytime soon. It's not happening. Again, you have as much luck as getting Betaflight running on a DJI Mavic with the stock controller. So why do people buy Bamboo? Because they're amazing bang for the buck. That's why. I have issues with some of the practices of the company, but that is actually an amazingly valued printer. That's the thing. They make a good printer. I've got some disagreements on some of the things they do, but that doesn't override the fact that that printer is amazing bang for the buck for a good chunk of the 3D printing community that doesn't have to worry about, like, you know, ITAR or, you know, everything being on the cloud. So, okay. So we've done that. Okay. So engage the position of the rods. Okay. Centering the threaded rods on the important. However, it doesn't have to be perfect. See the following instructions more. Start with the right center. By carefully and gradually tighten the individual screws. Oh, so I do this to center it. Okay. So so I got to play with this to center the motors. PETCF, good for structural parts. In a non-heated environment, I would say yes. Okay. The issue you would have with PET is it's still PET. So it will still soften in a warm environment, or in a hot environment. So you kind of want to be careful with that. Bamboo is a click print printer. Yeah, well, so is a Prusa. But I won't lie and say a Prusa is more capable than a bamboo. That's why I've been, you know, hey Joe, you know, you have that X1, or that, not X1, that XI or whatever they're called, that you should make, you know, its own thing instead of leaving it in the print farm. PETCF is usually rated. That's, okay, there's a difference between, so the problem with PET, it's not so much the temperature, it will catastrophically fail. The issue is PET gets gummy, okay? So as you heat up, as you get hotter and hotter, you'll start seeing more creep issues with it, okay? And you don't want creep with printer parts, because then your screws start getting loose. There we go, so that looks pretty centered. Your screws start getting loose. Things that were once tight are no longer tight, and you start having a bad time. So you want a plastic that does it for it. So here's the thing, something like PLA, you're good, fail, okay? ABS, ASA, you're good, fail, okay? PETG is kind of like, you're good, it's okay, fail. So you get gummy, okay? You get heat creep issues. I've seen where people have printed with their Prusas enclosed for a long time. They have to go in and retighten the screws every couple prints because everything just kind of starts getting a little bleh because of the heat. Okay, so we did that, and I got it pretty centered, so we're good there. Okay. And now we put the trapezoidal nuts in, so screw note the correct orientation of the nut. Okay. Okay, there may be a small gap. Tighten 2 screws, clean. Okay, cool. Polypro with live hinges. That's true. These nuts are, you don't have to grease these. These are palm, I think it is. Yeah, palm. You don't have to grease palm nuts, so. So there's 2 of the, yeah, so 2 of the holes are threaded and 2 aren't. So obviously you're gonna put the screws through the, bye-bye screw. You're gonna put your screws through the non-threaded holes, obviously. Why people use brass ones? Because they're cheap. And also, I would use something like brass nuts in a CNC motion system more than palm, probably. I don't know how palm would fare long term in a gritty environment with hot chips, if you're cutting stuff that's hot. Because a CNC motion system, you're usually, in my opinion, slathering that stuff with lube. So, any content on HuteForge? At some point, I've got a few things kind of in the works. The thing is, like, HuteForge is something I probably will end up playing with at some point, but it's very much like, people have already done a ton of videos promoting HuteForge, and by promoting, I mean like, hey, this is HuteForge, this is what it does, this is how you use it. So if I do a video on it, I'd pretty much be doing the same thing. So we might play with it on a live stream at one point, but the problem is with showing it off on a live stream, we might get 1 print. How long does it take to do a HuteForge print, right? So it's something I want to do. It's just, I need to figure out a way to make it kind of like a viable content for this channel. So what I would do with it, I would print a picture. Like, let's see here. HuteForge, okay. Let me actually spell it right. HuteForge, there we go. Okay, so Joel's already done a video, Lost in Tech has already done a video. Uforge themselves has done video. Actually, not a lot of people have done video, so. But yeah, a ton of people have already done videos on it. So it's like, oh, every Bamboo Lab printer compared. There's two printers, they just have different parts. So. Wonder if I would need a commercial license. I think I would technically, or I'd have to read the licenses, because I probably, here's the thing with Uforge. If you're gonna get Uforge, just set up a Facebook Marketplace thing and start selling stuff. Like, it makes sense for that. Okay, install the top Z parts. Like Uforge, you probably, I think the non-commercial license is relatively cheap. So if you're just gonna get it for fun, go at it. But it looks, in my opinion, it's something you're probably gonna see people selling prints with. Which I would too if I had the ability. Selling prints or designs, but I am using it in a commercial purpose because I profit off these streams and the videos. So I'd have to read the license to see exactly what is covered and what isn't. 310s, okay. Because in some cases, you know, we're all fine and dandy until somebody drops 5 gifted subs, and then boom, I'm making money off Uforge technically because I'm using it as content. So Polymaker also gives a gift card, US only. Is it US only? Oh. I've got all the Polymaker filament I would ever need. Thank you, Polymaker. There we go. So that's that. US and Canada? Okay, yeah, US and Canada. Oh, the offer is over? Okay. Well, in that case, hit up the affiliate link in the video description. And, you know, gonna have to just buy some then. Hopefully I'm actually doing this right. I did not read any of these instructions at all. Put them in, tighten the screws, and then remove the, okay. Okay, I do it right. Watching the stream while working. Oh, cheers. Oh, I hear a door. Joel used the $12 version. Okay. I'm sure the license is fine. It just, I'm not saying I have to get the commercial. I'm just saying you have to be careful because it's like some Patreon model sellers. Like they go, hey, if you want to use this for any commercial use, you need to buy the commercial license. And if they word it in that way, any commercial use, well, anything I do on my channel, I profit off of. And like, you know, that the video from Sunday, I might have, you know, only make 20 bucks on it over the life of the video. That's still profiting. That's still a commercial profit. So. USB port stopped randomly working on Pi. Is it after like a reboot? It's fun software though, but making prints for my Lancer Party Max. Are you talking about Uforge? Or Hero Forge? I would put anything you do on stream on risk. Technically, yeah. Like anything I do on stream is technically, like that's why I don't really get involved in the conversations, but I see it a lot on like Twitter, especially because it's Twitter. Everyone needs their internet points. But talking about giving credit for models. And I do when I remember to, like, you know, oh, hey, this is an Eastman model by Deadpool right there. Cool. But like, at what point? Like anytime, is it anytime there's any mention of any print that was designed by somebody, they have to be fully credited on screen with the link in the description? Or is it only when they're the feature of the print? Because like right now, okay, we got a, oh. Hi, Calvin.
Are you doing?
Daddy's working. You want to come say hi? You're gonna help me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's this?
I eat it off.
What is it?
Eat it off.
It's a 3D printer.
3D printer.
Yeah, it's a 3D printer.
Like 3D thing?
Yeah, it makes 3D things.
Like beard?
Like what?
Like beard?
Like beards?
Like
Bears?
like balls?
Yeah, I can make a ball. Oh, spears. Yeah, it can make a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like a ball is here.
Yeah, a ball is a sphere. Here, do you want to print? Here. You want to show mommy this dinosaur? There you go.
That's for our marker.
Yeah, you can put markers in them. There you go. Go show mommy that.
Or water.
I want to put water in there. Coda. Ah, come here, bud. Oh, you're a good boy. You good? You good? You good protecting the door? You protecting the door good? What? Where are you going? You can't go that way. There's nothing that way. Okay. Oh, I can feel the air conditioning coming out here. Okay. Who gets paid when Calvin comes out? Check here. So far on this stream, nobody. So if you want to help support the channel, consider becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter, or gifting memberships to others. Because right now we're at 0. Okay, place the top set parts. Okay, so we've done that. Put that in, put that in. I've got those two are screwed in. Love board, part preparation. Why is it called the love board? Okay. Calvin should ride the doggo. No, doggo is getting too old for that. Okay, so I need the love board. Why is it called the love board? Extruder box, is it in here? Where did the, it should be there. It's there. Oh, I might have shrunk them too much. There we go. Andrew, $10. Cheers for the Calvin Channel Point Fund. Cheers. Okay, the love board, is it in here? No, not there. So that's some gearing and everything. There's the hot end. That's all pre-assembled. Oh, there we go. Makers RS 5 community memberships. Cheers. Danos $5.99. Cheers. And PF Dennis 5 community memberships. Cheers. Thomas 5 community memberships. Cheers. Okay, where is the love board? Where is the love board? Is it at the Love Shack? Where is the love board at? Tuffin, thank you for becoming a torture test member. Thomas gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. Where is the love board? Love board. Love board. Love board? Love board. Oh, it's in the electronics box. Of course. Andrew, $10 cheer. Since Andrew sent some Andrew shit also. There we go. There's the love board. Okay. So this is the tool head board that they use on this machine. Does ASA smell less? I would say depends. You can get good quality ABS filament that doesn't stink. The problem is a lot of cheap ABS filament stinks. Torture test, it's just one of the tiers of members on the channel. It's like benchy, torture tests, and like full plate ABS. I had to figure out names because YouTube wanted names for them, and I was like, it was really early in the morning, put it that way, when I figured out the names for that. Mr. Minden gifted a community membership. Cheers. So if you're wondering what a Prusa tool headboard looks like, this is it. Focus. Okay. Focus. Focus. Focus on that. Come on. Come on. I gotta go in the middle. Don't focus on my face. Focus on the board. It doesn't want to focus. Is autofocus on? Yeah, autofocus on. Anyways, there we go. That's it right there. Nice and compact. It doesn't have a driver on it though, I don't believe. Oh, did somebody else gift memberships? Empus Wall gifted 20 community memberships. Cheers! Thomas, focus. Focus your fuck. So we got filament sensor, we got a load cell sensor, E-motor. So yeah, I don't think there's a driver on here. Power, control, hot end fan, part fan, NT, HT. So 2 thermistors. There you go, and a ground. Prusa Mk4 love board. Now, what's not on here, wait, these exist. Yeah, every month you get to put like a highlighted message. What's not on here, and some people have started raising a fuss about it, is if you notice, there ain't the open source hardware logo on this. I don't think Prusa is going to be making these open source. So, personally, if you design it on your own, it's not based on an existing open source thing. You have no requirement to open source it, and it's a business, so you can do what you want. But some people are not happy with that. So, no ADXL. No, so the way the Prusas do ADXL is because all the machines are pretty much the same. They do in-house ADXL testing, and they find a value that just works on all the machines, and that's what the input shaping value is. What are the connectors on the board? They are, I don't know exactly what these connectors are called. They are a spec connector. They are an off-the-shelf connector, and they're better than JSTs, put it that way. So I completely forgot. Oh yeah, the input shaping. So the way Prusa does input shaping is basically because all the machines have the same components, they're all basically the same, you should have the same, if not near the same ADXL values readout on all the machines. And they've tested this, and it kind of is that true. So pretty much they run the same value on all the machines. Who knows, in the future, maybe they'll have a couple different values you could pick from, where you do a test print, and like a third of the print is one value, a third of the print is another, and a third of the print is a third value, and then you just go in and you just pick whatever one you like the most. But when you have that control over the ecosystem of the printers, having an ADXL on the machine itself to just tell you what you kind of already know, is it needed? So. Alpha 3 with input shaper. See, I've heard people tell me the newest firmware with input shaper is amazing. So you can adjust it in your settings. Yeah. So these are Molex connectors. I don't know the exact one. I'm sure somebody in chat knows. Prusa is making moves from open source. Well, yeah, it kind of makes sense because, you know, here's the thing. I'm going to be completely honest here. As somebody who has been involved in 3D printing for a while, people are cheap AF. So if somebody wants a Prusa, they're just, wow, they're $1,000 Canadian for a Mark III kit now on AliExpress from Physek. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Mark III Bear kit for $549. If you put your design out there, China's going to clone it and they're going to undercut you. And then why would people buy yours? Now, some people will, but you're going to lose a big chunk of your market. So I kind of, you know, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. And here's the thing. If the design is based on an existing open source design, yes, continue to keep that open source and comply with the license. But if you develop something completely on your own, from scratch, you have no requirement to open source it. If you want to keep it closed source, that's up to you. That's why, as much as some people do, I don't complain about Bamboo keeping their stuff closed source. I disagree with it, but they are fully in their right, and I defend them because they developed their firmware for their printer here internally closed source, as far as we know. Because, you know, we have no way to, you know, go, oh, haha, you stole a bunch of Clipper code. Until somebody shows proof of that, you have to go off their word. And they said, hey, we developed it all on our own. We're keeping it closed source. Okay, cool. You're free to do that. Because it's just a motion system and thermistors values. Like, it's 3D printer firmware is really not that complicated. I mean, it's a motion system, which CNC machines have been doing forever. There's a ton of different ways to control a CNC machine, especially once you start looking at the industrial level. And then you just add you add a heater to it and then tell it to push plastic. Even input shaping is just math. So don't get me wrong, I like open source. I'm on the Voron team. We give away everything for free and we make no money. But you have no right to tell a company how they want to operate as long as they're following licenses. Because I've seen some people on like Twitter have like gotten really mad at Prusa for being like, oh, you guys aren't doing fully open source, I'll never support you again. It's like, okay, cool, but you have no right to force a company to operate in a way they don't want to. It's not, you have no right to demand a company operate a way you want them to. You can vote with your wallet, and they might change, but I'm sure, here's the thing, I don't work for Prusa. You don't work for Prusa. Actually, there might be some people in chat who work for Prusa. Hi, if you do. I don't know what their research shows. I don't know what their marketing shows. I don't know what the statistics are about, you know, their losses because of what they open source and what they don't and whatnot. So I won't claim to know why they made the decisions they did. And you shouldn't either unless you know why. So it is what it is. Okay, so we need the extruder cable, which is, that is a cable. What isn't open source? As of right now, they have the files out. I don't think they have the actual CAD, but they have the STLs out. The frame is it's some extrusions. I don't know if they have the actual CAD out. And here's the thing, you can release it on your own time, unless it's based on something else. But then you have to release source right away. But if you develop something, if I develop my own thing on its own and say, hey, I'm going to open source this at some point, I'm under no prerogative to release the source until I want to, unless it's based on, like, if it's on my own thing on my own. At least I'm pretty sure. Now, if I go, hey, I designed this, it's based on X, which is open source, then yeah, I have to release source upon request. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm not a lawyer, don't quote me. Do your own research. Okay, so extruder cable, love board, cables, connectors, that, okay. Move the X carriage to approximately the center of the X axis. Okay, so you go there, and here comes the part where I get these all out of whack. Sit months after it's out to at least get some head start. Well, that's the thing. If you release it right away, you know, Physex's going to be firing up the cloning machine within hours, right? It do be as it is. It's business. And, you know, if you're running a company with several hundred employees that depend on you making a profit for them to keep their job and their benefits and their wages, sometimes, hey, you might have to make a decision to keep the company afloat or keep the company profitable to a certain extent that some people may not like. Okay, so divide the twisted pairs and straight cables from each other. First, guide the straight cables through the channel on the x-axis, and guide the twisted through. And then plug into the love board. Okay, so we're like wiring this up right away. Okay. Clones are good, I said it. Okay. I've built one Prusa from a clone. It was a Prusa mini clone, and I would say it was about 80% good, but the extruder assembly was complete garbo. and caused so many issues. I haven't touched the machine since, so. Okay, so you go in. Okay, and then put the twisted cables in. Yeah. Greg did a GDPR request on Bamboo. They're like 20 companies having your data. You've never heard of them. Oh yeah, that's right. If you're in the European, what is it? European Union and California, you can request from a company all the information they have collected on you, and they have to disclose it. So if you live in the EU, okay, you can write an email to Bamboo going, hey, tell me all the information you've collected on me and what you've done with it. And apparently there are 20 companies that have your data. So Bamboo has given your information to 20 companies, apparently. That goes there, and then we click that on, and that goes like that. Okay. I love these connectors. These connectors are... Ooh. Did you hear that click? Please tell me the noise cancellation didn't kill that click. That was a click. That was a click. Where can you find that info? You have to request it from Bamboo. You have to actually request it from them, and then they send it to you. It's not like a thing on their website. Sounds solid, yeah. Yeah, they send it to 20, and then what do those 20 companies do with it? And that, you know, the files you've uploaded, webcam information, the webcam files themselves, who knows? I don't know. Do you know? Okay, so we've done that, okay. And then that connects to there with an M3.6. Okay. Yeah, I will say, like, I had some people comment on the last stream how big the board is on this, like the main board. Let me mount this, and then I'm gonna pull something out, and then you're gonna laugh. Okay, so this goes. Okay, so how does this go? So that goes. Okay, so let me feed some of this out so I can kind of, okay, that goes there. Oh. Next extruder on the Voron. I wish Prusa sold the next extruder by itself. It's kind of shitty for me to say this, but if a company starts cloning them, I will be grabbing one because I want one of these to play with. Okay, so Joe, sell the next extruder standalone, please, Kay, thank you. Because I want to put this in printers. And also, I've said this on the last stream because people are asking me about upgrades. If they had, like, say, because you can buy kits to upgrade your Mark III to a Mark IV. And if it was up to me, if I was going to upgrade my Mark III, although I might turn into that Prusa XY thing, buy a Pi 02, now that they're kind of in stock, slap that on there because it plugs right in. Put clipper on it, boom, okay? So now you got clipper, you got input shaper, you can put an ADXL on it, whatever, and then get an extruder. That's what I would do on a Prusa Mark III, personally. If I were to upgrade my Prusa Mark III, it would be an extruder and clipper. The thing is, I don't know how the next extruder would work with clipper. And I'm pretty sure the next extruder, because it's got this connector on it, you need the new board. I don't think you'd be able to plug an extruder unless you rewire it all into an existing Mark III board. Bamboo hotend. The bamboo hotend's fine. It's not a, you're not gonna get high flow out of it. Or how do I wear this? It caps out, like they limit it in their slicer to like 13 millimeters cubed a second by default. You can go a little bit higher, but not too much. So it is a higher flow hotend, but it's not a true high flow. So if you're already running something like a Revo or just like a standard Dragon or something like that, it's fine. But if you're running like a Rapido or something like that, it's not worth it. But people have been using them to decent success. Apparently it is a decent hotend. I haven't used one other than the ones on the Bamboos, and it's really cheap, especially for the hardened nozzle ones. So yeah, go for it. There, you can even put it on the V0. There's a tool head for the V0 for it. Okay, so that looks like that. Mine looks exactly like that. Like, I need a better camera out here. This is getting really annoying, not having all my camera angles that I'm used to. Okay. Connect the main extruder parts. Okay, so I need the X carriage cable holder with the screw hole. Okay. Good to 20 to 25 millimeters a second. Really? I've had issues when I try to push it high, fast, like under extruding issues. Set axis, that ain't, oh, okay. Will the Big Tree Tech Pi work? Well, it's not a Pi, it's Big Tree Tech's board. And yes, it will work. I mean, you don't need a lot of power to run Clipper. If you're running mainsail or fluid, a Pi 02 or a Pi 3A or better is all you need to run it fully. So maybe your cooling was not sufficient. Maybe. I just know if I'm printing something on that machine for a printer, I run it at half speed. Otherwise, I don't have great layer adhesion. The parts come out more brittle than I would like. Okay, so I need this, an M340. 325, M340. High flow extruder. You should be able to fiddle with it to get it high flow if you really wanted to. I need to get the adapter so I can put either a CHT. I'm tempted to actually put a Diamondback nozzle in this, so I can use this as my like abrasive machine. You know, I have Obsidians on pretty much all my other ones. Okay, do not pinch any wires. Okay, so that screws into there. Okay. Orange Pi 3. Yeah, I've got on my Voron 1, I've got a Pi 02. I bought a Triangle Labs had a kit where you buy a Pi 02, comes with a buck converter and everything, and it works just fine. Input shaper and everything. Okay, that goes there. Now the following. Okay. Y carriage. Oh, okay, here we go. Pi 02 is, yeah, Pi 02 is as powerful as a Pi 3A. The only difference is it just doesn't have the connectors, which can be a little bit annoying, not having, you know, all those USB ports and whatnot. Okay. Oh, rubber pad. That's a rubber pad. Do I still have one more rubber? I gotta have one more rubber pad. Rubber pad, where are you? Rubber pad. Oh, here we go. Rubber pad. Wait, is that it? Rubber pad 20 by 10? Rubber pad 20 by 10. Is the Bondtech Mark III upgrade worth it? I don't know. I've never used it, so I can't really comment on that, unfortunately. Probably. Bondtech makes good stuff. Here's the thing. Here's what you need to ask yourself. Does your printer have an issue right now that getting that upgrade will resolve? Okay. If yes, try it out. If no, $80 good for a Pi 4 8 gig. I actually don't know. I don't know what Pis are right now. They're starting to come back to normal value. So hopefully you shouldn't have to worry about scalp prices anytime soon. 318. 318. and an M310 and a piece of nylon. Okay. So that, 2 of those, M310, piece of nylon right here. Ooh, it's got got 2 little hooks in the end. Okay. Okay, so rubber pad goes in here. So every time there's a bushing, it's got a rubber pad against it. So that's kind of cool. Nylon must curve upwards, not down. Oh, there's the mouse, okay. So that goes there, okay. That goes, must curve upwards. Okay. Okay. So it goes into a little hook in here. It's not going in the hole. I swear this doesn't happen that often. Do we got a flashlight out here? Okay, does that just go there? Okay. There we go. Okay. And it hooks up. Okay. So little birdie is telling me you should be able to grab an extruder for a Mark III in one of the upgrade kits for the Mark III in the near future. Oh, was I supposed to say that? Oh, well. There you go. Wrong hole. No, right hole. Okay, that goes there, that goes there. Okay, so we line that up. I already got that lined up. And then we put that cover on with the, those 2 are the M318s and that's the M310. Okay, cool. Heard about the new Glowforge that released Glowforge Aura. No, what's Glowforge Aura? Is it a laser? Wow, look how much fun they're having staring at the laser. Personal craft laser. When I see something like this, I see proprietary and I see expensive. The first thing I see, proprietary and expensive. Hopefully I'm wrong, but yeah. I'm sure you can make an extruder work with a Revo if you really wanted to. I'm sure it's not that big of a change. Okay, so this goes on like so. So let's get our wires down here. Oh yeah, that goes like, oh, perfect. There we go. I will say, I love how like clean this goes together. Like it just works. Glowforge is around 5K. Yeah, there was, I'm trying to remember who it was. The Lightburn folks were trying to tell, somebody from Lightburn, it might have been Colin, was telling me about, is it Monport? I think it's called Monport. They're a company, they basically take the KW40, which is that entry-level China CO2 laser, and they basically rebuild it into a not fire hazard machine, and then they sell it. And it's got like a Lightburn controller or compatible controller built into it. And I was looking into that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. The problem is they don't sell it in Canada. Because I do want to get a laser at some point. I want to put a wall or bench here with a CNC and a laser on it back here. There's a reason I've got extra outlets on over here on their own circuit, so I can put laser and all that stuff there. I just, $1,200 for the Aura. Okay, well, if somebody from Aura wants to send me one, otherwise I'm like, no. Okay, textile sleeve and a zip tie. Okay, so I gotta put the sleeve on and then we zip tie it. Cool. Hey, guess who didn't print the part that makes this easy? What about SnapMaker? I'm not a huge fan of machines that eat where they poop. If that makes sense to you, then you know why. But yeah, I'm not a fan of machines that do everything, because a lot of the times when you have a machine that can do everything, it's not great at anything. It's just kind of okay in a bunch of different options. Also, the enclosure for it is massive for a laser, because it has to be fully enclosed for CNC and laser stuff. It means a huge enclosure. And the thing is, you waste a lot of Z on that machine because it's a 3D printer. That means you have big Z travel, which you don't use at all when it comes to the CNC and laser aspect of. So it's kind of like you're wasting a lot of design. You're making design choices so it could do all three that don't benefit all three. So you have losses and like rigidity and whatnot. Okay. So push the zip ties through the X hand, correct orientation of the zip ties, wrap the extruder main cable, keep 1 centimeter gap between the sleeve and the carriage. Wrap this part near the joint for now. We can wrap in, cover the exterior. Okay. It is important to keep the heads of the zip ties separated in the pockets. Oh, okay. Okay. So that goes like that. I really wish I had an overhead camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll do this. Don't forget the button. Yeah, like, do the thing with the button. Pull the lever, Kronk. Okay, which way does this go? Is there... Okay, yeah, it does do that. Okay. That goes on like that. There we go. Easy peasy. That looks so clean. And there's like little things for these to sit in. Like, I don't know about you, but that looks really clean. Like, that's just the back of the tool head right there. Boom, bang, done. Clean. Yeah, I could dig it. Sure, that's all in there, nice and everything's pinched. There we go. There we go. What revision is the main board? I don't know. 0.2.7, 2021. Prusa XL versus Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon. Manny! Completely different machines for completely different markets. One's a single nozzle, multicolor capable machine that's enclosed and is 250 millimeters cubed. One's a large format tool changer. Completely different machines. That's like asking somebody to compare a Honda Civic to a F-150. Completely different machines with different purposes. Other than the fact that, you know, they both have 4 wheels and an engine. So, they have a newer revision? Huh. Well, I got the old revision. I'm sure the revision doesn't really mean, like, is more of a production revision than an actual capability revision. One is open source, the other is hella close. That too. Well, partially open source. Okay, so wrap all that up. Proceed in a spiral motion. Okay. Here comes the part where I wish I always printed the tool to make this easy, and I never do. Firmware notes, the revision was chip supplier. Okay, that makes sense with, again, with the current market and like how hard it is to get some stuff, I can see being part revisions every now and then due to sourcing. Yeah, Bamboo goes out of business, good luck. Yep. I mean, you can always gut the machine from take out all the electronics. Throw a Big Tree Tech Octopus in there and call it a day. Rewire everything. Although the bed might be fun, and I don't know what kind of thermistor they use. Signs for the fools that bought a single toolhead XL. If you needed a large format Core XY, and you could justify it, like it's nothing wrong with it, it's just, you know, it's harder to justify. Put a ramps in it. That's when you put clipper on it. You can't, you have to, none of the control boards in a Bamboo are not clipper compatible in any way whatsoever. So. Nope, something fell. Oh, it's a tool. There we go. Okay. So, I gotta twist this. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. So I got that cabling done. And spiral motion, that does that. Ha. There we go. Okay, attach the extension cable holder part preparation. Okie dokie. So we're gonna need a zip tie. I've got a zip tie, cool. We're gonna need M318 times 2. M310 times 1. A nut. What kind of nut? Square nut, 2 square nuts. Okay, well, there's 2 nuts. And I need the 300 millimeter one, which is this one. Ooh. Wrapping the X motor cable, okay. Wrap a sleeve over the X motor cable. Okay. Sell for better models and multi-material. Yeah. Here's the thing. The reason I kind of want, so if I was, you know, the one I pre-ordered, and we'll see if I still end up buying just because of budget. The XL is the dually, because here's the thing. I don't do multicolor prints. Okay. If I want to do multicolor, I'll just use the Bamboo that I have. Okay. Because I don't do multicolor. It's just not something I do. The only time I do it is like a tool head on a printer that has like a little design on it. That's the most common type of multicolor I do. So getting, you know, springing for a 5-head XL is just not something I can justify. But the 2-headed one, you know, is, I'm printing ABS with a soluble support or something like that, right? So I could see the XL being like really popular with those that do like cosplay. Because, you know, if you're printing helmets or like large chest pieces or just anything large, now you can print it one piece. You got soluble support. It comes out looking better. It just, you know, it gives you that capability you don't have with a single nozzle setup, and it will be a lot quicker on those larger pieces than a single nozzle setup, because you don't have to worry about the purge. You don't have to worry about wasteful purge and the time it takes to do a filament swap, because those eat up a lot of time, especially on a large print. There's a reason like a 5-color multicolor print on like most setups take over a day. Insert 2 nuts in there. Okay. Where do these nuts go? Oh, they're going in the bottom. Okay, so the nuts go in the bottom. What time are we at right now? Yeah, we got it. Shoots along pretty good here. Okay. That goes into that hook. There's like a little hole here. Oh. Okay. Did I put that in backwards? No, I put it in right. Yeah, I put it in the right way. Okay. Assembling the cable. So that goes like that. The other cable goes like that. Okay, and okay, so it's got to go over that way. Okay. Then you put the cover piece on. Oh, this is tight. This is gonna be tight. Try not to pinch any of these cables. Yeah, come on, come on. Damn it. There we go. Yeah, no. There we go. There we go. Have I printed any TPU on the Bamboo? I have. Actually, I printed more TPU on the P1P. It prints fine. And it was TPU 95. Printed some drone parts. TPU. I know Joshua Bardwell had issues, but printed fine on mine with the Polymaker TPU. Where aren't you going in? Go in your hole. Come on. Bite it. There you go. What extruder do I set for 2.4? Whatever one your kit comes with to start, I would say that. And then if you want to play with something later, do a little searching around. But like a Clockwork 2 that comes with most kits now is fine. Oh, and put a zip tie. Does it matter which way the zip tag? Oh, okay, that goes towards the front. There we go. LGX light. I've got LGX lights and a few V0s. I like it. On my full-size V2s, I'm running, or my full-size Varns, I'm running. I've got 2 full-size LGXs, and they're fine. Okay. So that goes on top there. Double check the Expo material does not go behind. Okay, so that goes like that. Oop. That screws in with the M310s, and that goes like that. Okay. So. Okay. Watch drone camps and run to bar. I have not. I don't watch a ton of FPV YouTubers. I don't do like, I do FPV stuff. I take quads out to the park and fly them around in fields and whatnot, but I don't like, you know, I'm not thrashing bandos every Sunday type thing. I do watch Bardwell. Watch the odd bacon FPV video. Probably the one I watch the most, just because I find his videos entertaining, is Bot Grinder. Just because he makes fun videos, I think. Okay, so we got that. That looks like the picture. So there's your picture, and there's what we got. That looks like the thing I want it to look like, and it does the stuff, so we're good there. And now I've got to eat a gummy. Calvin! Calvin! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Calvin, you want some gummies? Oh, I dropped one. You want gummy? You can take 4, but then you gotta go back in the house. What do you say?
Thank you.
Okay, say goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, go eat your gummies. I will eat 1. It went plump. I don't think it makes a tight enough seal around the thing for it to properly accelerate. Cynthia has an open chamber. I gotta build that. I gotta start printing the parts for it. There you go. I ate my 1 gummy and I gave away 4 to the little guy, plus 1 sacrificial ones to the gods of airsoft, or Nerf. It's gun printed in food grade PLA. No, ABS. There it is. Hey, look, it looks like a thing. On to the next extruder. Okay, so hopefully we can get the next extruder done, and then we might call it there, or we might move on to the Z. We'll see, just because of timing. Okay, so the filament sensor. This is the part I really want to play with. Okay. So, okay, let me grab the next extruder parts. There's little springs. That is always a little worrying. So this is what makes the next extruder important. Nothing else in there. Okay. So they have it epoxied in there, it looks like. I'm assuming those are the sensors. Yeah, so there's that. There is the Hall sensor for the load cell. Or no, that's the Hall sensor for the filament. So the load cell, I'm assuming, is epoxied in here. So you ain't getting that out. Focus. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus up close. So we need that. We need that. And then we need that orange part, which is Prusa ball holder 1. So I'm assuming I have a box of extruder stuff. Y-carriage heat bed, fasteners, 2 of 2. Don't think these are them. Nope. Extruder, here we go. Oh, I really don't want to lose any of these. Oh, I really don't want to lose any of these. Oh God. Extruder spring and magnets. Oh God. Okay. And an M2.56T, which I'm assuming is in this bag. Yeah. Need some hex trays. I know. Yeah. Okay. M2.5. Look at all this stuff. Okay. So M2.56T. Spare. Oh, these are all spares. These are all spares. .56. I gotta have M2.5 somewhere. 3. It says it's in here, M2.56. Yeah. M3, 4BT. 3, M3, M3. These are all M3. There's, oh, there we go. M2.56. Okay. Ooh, got one. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Shipping in Canada is expensive. It is. It is. Print up a few hex rays. I can print them myself. Can someone just link them in the Discord and I'll just print them? Okay, assembling the extruder. Okay, so that goes there. So that's easy. So yeah, so what makes this work for the load cell is the fact that the load cell is built into this. So the actual load cell is actually part of this assembly. So it's all calibrated for like this flexing right here. And this is a machine part that's all the spec. It allows you to just be a heck of a lot more accurate than like using generic off the shelf, like spring steel flexi stuff. Like it's just, this method just, oh shoot, where'd that little screw go? Oh, there it is, good, okay. So that goes there. So we put that in there, place it into the, fix it with an M2.9. Very carefully, you can crack the electronics board. I don't want to do that. This is a Torx bit. I don't have Torx bits. Where is the bag of stuff that Prusa gave me that I need to build this printer? Hopefully there's a Torx bit in here. Why is this Torx? Why is this the only Torx bit? Can have a load cell. We've tried. Tap, I think at one point had a load cell and it didn't make sense. And we've tried doing them in the bed too. And it just wasn't, we couldn't get it repeatable and consistent enough to make it worth it. Yeah, the LTT screwdriver has Torx bits, but not in mine. I bought a set of metric bits. So mine is mostly loaded up with metric hex bits. So I've got metric hex bits, Phillips, and flathead, and the magnet. That's all I got in mine, because that's what I use the most. So load cell embed. Yeah, or it's a piezoelectric. It's the same thing we tried that Bamboo does. We tried it, and we could never get it consistently to the point where we were happy with it, so we abandoned it. This was years ago. Okay, so the Prusa ball holder assembly. So where is the ball holder? That I need to find. Prusa ball holder. So extruder, Prusa ball holder. It's called the Prusa ball holder. Okay. So insert the Prusa ball holder with, there's a little tab facing down. And do I put the ball into the ball holder? Okay. Oh, I do. Okay. So place little spring, magnet, and a ball. Okay. So little spring. I don't have that little magnet. I've got a bigger magnet. Don't go away, ball. You're gonna go right there. Where's that little magnet at? Because I've got these are bigger. There's a magnet in one of the other bags. One second here. I'm so paranoid. Drop it. There we go. Okay, you go back in there. Magnet. 2-pin magnets, steel balls. Magnet. There we go. Magnet. It's in an SD card holder. It's in an SD card holder. Okay, so magnet, that goes there, and then the ball goes in there. Okay, and then we put this in, so that goes like that, and then we put that in with that facing in. Okay. There we go. So when the filament goes in, it pushes the ball over and triggers the Hall effect magnet sensor. Nice. Simple. Okay, so we need some extruder parts. It's LCD, Y carriage, an extruder. There we go. So we need some idler levels. Level 1. 2. Magnets don't get lost, they just get stuck to stuff. This is true. Okay. And we need some pins and bearings and stuff. Okay, so that's probably this, yeah. So luckily with the magnet here, all this stuff sticks to the magnet, so that's good. So we got our 2 bearings. We got, well, that's a hollow pin. Oh, these are the 2 pins right here. And an M36 and the tube. I need the tube. One pin. Two pins. Here we go. And an M36. Ooh, don't need that many M36s, I just need one. Okay. Let me move this over so you might be able to see better. How much is that in the way? Oh, that's not in the way at all. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now, gotta put this together. Okay, so put the pins in the bearings. That I'll do as I put them in. Cool. Bearing, place the bearings and the pins into the idler B. And close it up with that. Okay. Okay. And then from this end, push the tubular space in assembly. The bottom of the tube must be flush with the bottom of the idler assembly. Okay, so that just kind of goes in like that. And then we put this screw in. And that screws into plastic, so don't overdo it. The Mk4 kit comes with all the printed parts, yes. Most bearings must rotate freely. We're good there, we're good there. Actually, I gotta undo this 1 second. Oh, that would have been bad. There we go. Had a little bit of gap because I didn't have them pushed together when I screwed them together, so there's a little bit of gap, so now I fixed it. So there's no gap now. There we go. Okay, so this needle, or this pin, can't go through. It needs to be flush, so that's flush there. Okay. Assemble this part now, okay? So you go there, you go there. An extruder 1 of 2. So I need the knobby part. This part. This front part that actually has a metal insert in it, it looks like, or nylon. Original Prusa Mk4. I want to redo this part in like clear acrylic or something. And then there is a PG ring. So I gotta find the PG ring. So we're not using these. So PG ring, where is, so fasteners. So the thing with an extruder, rubber pad, no PG ring. PG ring is in the box. And the PG assembly. Tool head comes all assembled, so we don't need that yet. It's in the box. The lettering is some inkjet print. Maybe. It does look like it's printed on. It doesn't. It's not a sticker. Got a fancy design on it. I'm just saying it would be cool if this was clear acrylic so you could see through it. Okay. And we need the extruder motor and some screws. Extruder motor. Okay, and then screws. M325 times 3. It's UV printed. Okay, well, it's printed on. It's not. Spacer. M510. So is that one spacer that's in the bag? Still, yeah. clear cover mod is available. Cool. Is it printed or acrylic? Because my CNC can cut acrylic. So that'd be kind of cool to machine it clear. Or clear resin or something. Just hope it don't crack. Socket set M325. What is it freaking socket set M325? Socket set screw. What the frick is a socket set screw? That's a socket set screw. Okay. I will say, it would be really awesome if instead of getting a baggie full of parts, if all the screws for the kit came in something like this. Because, like, I'm just gonna say it. If Physek can do that in their kit, Prusa could too. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. And we also need some lubricant. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so that is that. Before preparing to make sure that the M spacer is placed on the extruder motor. Okay, so spacer on extruder motor. Done. Why this is at the bottom instead of the top, I don't know, but this should be at the top. If this is saying make sure you do it first, put that at the top. But that's just me. That's just me. People read top to bottom. Okay. Oh, it does say it at the top. It just repeats it at the bottom. Maybe I should read. Reading is hard. Okay. Me fail English? That's impossible. Okay, so that goes on like that. Place the heatsink on the extruder motor. The motor cable must be facing up. The heatsink cables must be on the right side. Attach the main plate. Okay. And it looks like the slot is in that side. Okay. So that just lines up, I guess. Okay. Attachment plan is kind of used the cutout as a guide. Okay. There's no screws here. This just kind of sits here for now. Okay, cool. Need to be done correctly and carefully. Uh-oh, we're screwed. We're screwed. Carefully. Ooh, we are so screwed. Okay. Planetary gear. That looks fun. Okay. So, it says by watching this video along with the guide. There's a video? Assembling the gearbox. So I'm just gonna follow the video. Okay, so we got that. That goes on top. Okay. Then we get that. There's a chamfer, must be facing down. Okay, there's a chamfer. Chamfer must be facing down. Okay. Let me turn that. So that goes on there. Okay, this will be facing down. Okay. Slide that on. I'm trying to get it to line up. Come on. Okay. Come on. I got it jammed up here. 1 second. Okay, so that goes on there. How did theirs just slide right on? I'm having... Okay, you go there. I can't get, oh, wiggle, wiggle. There we go. Okay, that's on. Okay. Oh no, I slid it right through. Shoot. I slid it right through. Oh no. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we're on. Okay. Okay. Okay, so okay, come on. Get on your thing. Get on your thing. Come on. You got it. Oh. No, we're good. Oh, the JST. Yeah. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, remove the adapter. Okay. Oh yeah, that moves perfectly. Bueno. Okay. Good job, Prusa. That helped. Okay. There we go. So we can skip all that. So that can come off. Hopefully nothing ever falls out of this. Okay. So we've done all that. So now we are there. Okay. Rotate so that lines up with that. Okay, that's lined up enough. Setting flush. There we go. Okay. Make sure there's no gap. Yes. Like, are we talking like? I've got like an ever so slight like step down. Is that bad? Do I need to have no step down? I think. So I got to take this apart. There we go. There we go, okay. There we go. Dang it, they're stepped down again. Keep accidentally pushing it too much. It's saying it's got to be flush, and I keep accidentally, when I'm lining it up, pulling them there. Okay, let's try this again. Can you come out? Spacer on. Yeah, Tom did this without the spacer, right? So he had some fun with this, didn't he? There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. That goes there. I don't think there's any spacing to that. There we go. Okay, so that's lined up. No gap. It spins freely. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. Well, there's a chamfered side on it, and the chamfered side's down, so we're good there. Okay. So that's that. That's that. We're good there. It looks like that. Okay. So now we got to insert the idler in there. And then we put that long pin in there. This guy. And I screw that in with the small Allen key. That sticks up a bit, I guess. Okay. Apply some lube. Okay. Where did I put the Prusa goo? Where did I put the Prusa goo? There it is. Hello, Calvin. What are you doing out here? You want some more gummies?
Yeah.
But we're not at that part in the manual. You can only have gummies when we get to the end of each point of the manual. You want to help? Okay, can you squeeze that tube just a little bit?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Squeeze.
Okay, Daddy's got to see what you're doing. Squeeze it right there. Oh. And then squeeze again.
Squeeze.
There we go. Okay. There you go. Thank you. Okay, you can have one gummy for that. Breaking the rules here. Okay, what do you say?
Thank you.
Okay.
What comes next?
What comes next? Let's see. Take the cover and make sure the plastic ring is in there. Is there a plastic ring in there? Yeah, see the shiny ring? Is the shiny ring in here? It's black. Is that it?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. And then we put this on right like that. Okay. And then we got to put 4 screws in. So Daddy's going to line them up. Or 3 screws, sorry. Okay, that one goes in there.
It's wrong.
Oh, it's okay. We're going to screw them in. And then do that.
That one. I don't.
You gotta spin it.
I don't. It's your mouth, Daddy.
Need some help? There we go. Hey, Coda. What do you see?
need that.
You see that? What is that?
WDB.
You're on the TV?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
What? What is it? What?
There we go. There we go. Does that look right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's a way to manually feed this.
I want help, Daddy, Mama.
You want to help Daddy, or do you want?
Help, Daddy.
You want to help Daddy, or do you want an ice cream? Or freezy?
I hold on to Daddy, and I got a baby.
Oh, you want to help Daddy, then get a freezy? Okay, so we'll see how far we get. We'll see how far we get. Okay. So these parts are a little complicated, so we might not have you put them together. You helping? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, there's little springs and nuts with this. Okay, so this part is even too little for your little hand. Okay? So why don't you go help Mommy?
What freezy do you want? Color.
Yeah, go help Mommy pick a freezy. Yeah. I've already lost enough parts in this build. Don't need to lose all the little springs. What do I need here? That. Okay, so we need M330s. See him weighing his options there. Okay, so 2 of those. What is the idler nut? Oh, okay, those are the printed parts, which I got right here. Okay. Another swivel. Okay, M330s. M320T. Where is the M320T? It's not in this bag. It's in here. Go. Good. There we go. Okay, got those 2. M3N lock nut. Do I have lock nuts here? Or do I gotta go? Or are they in a different bag? They are in a different bag. 3N nut. That is not actually a lot of nuts. There's only a couple here. Spring 15.5, got those 2 right there. And then spacer 5.5 mil. What is spacer 5.5 mil? Spacer 5.5 mil. Okay, it's this. That's a spacer 5.5 mil. Okay. Which is this guy. There we go. Okay. So I think we got it all now. Okay. Assembling the idle swivel. Okay. So we have this. I wish there was a way to manually move this to make sure I had it all lined up once you put the lid on, but I guess we're just kind of yo-ho-lo-ho-ing it. Okay. So. Are these both the same part? I'm assuming so. Okay. So there we have the M320T all the way through. Put the spacer on it. Put the second idler part on. And then put a lock nut on. because it's a lock nut, I need something to hold the lock nut. Which, how much you want to bet I don't have the one I need in here? Yeah, it's a 5.5 mil. Where'd I put my 5.5 mil one? Ah, bleh. Well, good thing Prusa gave us some tools. That looks like it might do. Too big. Too big. Okay, tighten just slightly. The spacer must rotate free. Okay. Oop. Okay, a little too tight. A little too tight. Really doesn't want to spin. Okay, one second here. Okay, there we go. Okay, that goes in there. The other M3 goes, and another nut. Okay. So if I have it like that, curve goes up, 320 goes through. Yeah, okay, and the other lock nut goes on. Okay, so over time it must be able to swivel. Okay. I think the next extruder, this is probably the most complex part of the build, honestly. I'll be honest. Like, this is probably the most complex part of the build. Okay, so these two get springs on them. And they go through the top here. Okay. And they screw into the plastic. Okay. Tighten both screws. Stop tightening as soon as the screw tips reach the front face of the nut idler. Okay, so you basically screw them in until the screws start poking out the top here. Okay, so I'm just going until they just stick out the front and they're flush. Okay. That's how you lock and unlock it. That's it. Easy peasy. Okay, attach the extrusion parts. Okay, so we got some we got some screws here. So let me grab some screws. We got some screws. M310s. How many of these do we need? 3. What's the next extruder? It's the extruder for a Prusa Mk4. And also the XL. 3 screws, okay. And an M34T scrub screw. M34T grub screw. M34T. Okay, and the thermistor. Okay. Okay, once the motor side is on the motor side, okay, insert into the heat sink. Okay, so that just goes, so if I'm looking like this, so motor side down, put thermistor in, and the grub screw holds it in. Okay, so oh, where's my itty bitty? Where's the itty bitty one? Is this the itty bitty one? Oh shoot, come on. This really doesn't. Oh, is it a Torx? It's a Torx. Where'd I put that Torx bit driver? Small Torx driver. Where'd I put it? There we go. Like, I know why they did Torx. Torx will not strip as easily as a hex at this size, but still, it's. Okay, so tighten gently but firmly using 2 fingers in the short side. There we go. Insert the 2 thumb screws into the side. Okay. So don't tighten them completely, just put them in loose because you're gonna have to put your heat sink in. So just put those in there. Okay, and next we put this on. So this is going down. Okay. So there's like a little slot in here. And 3 M310s, which I got right there. Okay, so that just goes there. Right? That goes there, and you can see where the screws are. Can you connect a webcam to a Prusa? At this time, I don't believe so. There is a web interface with this machine, but I think you can attach an IP cam. But you're not going to be plugging no Logitech C920 into this thing. That's just not a thing with this. That, so that can float. Okay. There we go. Do not pinch any of the cables. Try not to. I did not. We're good. Okay. So that's attached. Then the thermistor cable comes up and plugs into which one? That one. Okay. There's like an itty bitty slot here for it. That just kind of goes in. And it plugs in to this guy. Which way does it go? I had it backwards, okay. Man, I love these connectors. Just such a solid thunk when it actually connects. You have a pair of tweezers that come in handy, just making sure everything fits in the slots. So everything's nice and in line. There we go. Okay. There we go. So there is a thermistor in the heatsink, so it's able to like read the heatsink temperature. So if you have like heat creep issues, that should not be an issue. What are we at right now? We got half an hour. Okay, so we got the hot end fan and M318s. Okay, so hot end fan. So is this box empty? No, that still has the hot end. M318s. We're running low on those M318s, aren't we? That's empty, that's garbage, there we go. Yeah, the Tico, I'm telling you, Tico's making a comeback. Any day now, they'll put out a software update and it'll all just work, right? Any day now. Okay, also helps if you grab the right size screw. Tico will rise again. Where am I at? Where am I at? Right here, okay. So, there, M318s. There's a sticker on the hot end fan. The sticker must face the rear, not visible, okay. And this fan, for those wondering, is a, I think it's a Delta. It's a Delta fan. 0.16 amps. I believe 5 volts? I think it's 5 volts. Yeah, it's 5 volts. Okay. Go. And it goes into that bottom one, so up through the same channel and into the bottom one. Trying to get into that same channel as everything else. There we go. There you go. What do I think of the Prusa XY project? I took a glance at it. I have a Mark III. I might convert it into it. We'll see. So we got the hot end. The hot end's all pre-assembled. So you already got the heater in it, and the heater looks like it. Oh no, there is set screws, and the thermistor, and the heatsink, and all that. So this is all pre-assembled. I'm not going to mess with it. It is all. There you go. It's unfocused, but there it is. So obviously, the goes in like that. Locate the hole in the heatsink from the guy that came all the way into the heatsink. There should be approximately 2mm gap. While pushing the hot end in, firmly tighten both screws. Avoid pinching. Okay, so hold up as you tighten. Okay. So find the hole. I guess we're gonna have to like yeah, so it's a hard stop, and then as you hold it up, tighten the screws. And you don't need to like over tighten these screws, because I think if you over tighten these some screws, you can collapse the actual tube. That would be bad. Yeah. Although it says firmly tighten both thumb screws. Ah, AirPod fell out. Revo S. Well, they are both developed by E3D. Like this hot end is developed by E3D, or it's at least manufactured by E3D. Okay, so that's firmly tightened. Okay. And then again, so that one goes there and that one goes up top. Okay. There. There we go. Okay, so assembling the fan door. So we need this. This box is empty. Who keeps calling me? Oh, freaking LinkedIn. Get a LinkedIn. You'll need it. Carriage and heat bed and extruder 282. Flying gyroscope. Hello there. Okay, so I need the door, this, some magnets. Okay, so M330, one. M310s, two. M36, one. And I need two magnets. Which come in this little SD card holder. Okay, so let's do this. Insert the magnet. So I'm assuming one magnet. So insert the magnet in the pocket on the inside of the fan door. Okay. it snaps into position. A little bit of force. Okay. Arrange that like that, and then fold it over and attach it with two M36s. Okay. So, let's see here. So it's blowing down. So the fan, just like that. And out. So you basically arrange it like that. And then you fold it over. And you should be able to pull that tight. There we go. And then M36s to hold it together. And again, you're screwing into plastic here, so don't overdo them. Try another one. I gotta get out back. I gotta get out back. It's a nice shiny fan. It doesn't have that matte finish. It's actually a shiny finish on this fan. Don't know why, but shiny. Shiny. Is there a film I gotta peel off of it? No, just a fingerprint magnet. Okay. Turn as shown. Okay, so I've got it like that. Got our duct here. That goes there and attached with two M310s. Okay. Again, screwing into plastic, don't over tighten. So what are we at right now? We are at 240. So don't forget, we're gonna be ending the stream pretty much as soon as we're done putting this extruder together. So if you haven't entered for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, link in the video description. Enter for your chance to win now, because we're gonna do the draw relatively soon, I think. Okay, it's recommended to prepare the permanent marker. Let's see, have a good memory. Okay, slowly get the free magnet close enough and find out which sides are attracted to each other. Mark the side with a magnet. Okay, so let me get my marker. Okay. And then slide that in like so. Okay. There's like a little slot it goes into. There we go. Okay, well, that's as far in as it's going. Oh, no, it's got to go all the way in. Okay. I need a screwdriver in. Ow. Okay, that seems to be in. Okay. All the way down. Okay, let me find something here. Place Mark III with Mark IV or build Voron? That's the question. Why not both? There we go. I'm always paranoid pushing something with a screwdriver that'll stab myself because I've done it before and it sucks. It really sucks. Okay. So that goes in there. and put the big screw in. See, I thought, because I've played with a Mark IV before, right? Buddy, I had somebody lend me theirs that they bought, and I thought it was just like a detent, and that's what would make these attract to each other, like they would pop into position. I didn't realize there was a magnet there. Now I know, and knowing's half the battle. So you just screw it in nice and loose. Okay. And then this goes to there at the top. Load cell goes to the load cell connector on the side, which is, okay, so this one goes to the bottom. Right? Yeah, that goes on the bottom. This one goes to the top. Oh, those clicks. And then the fan goes to that one. Right in the middle. Okay, that one didn't click as. A little too tight, maybe. There we go. Okay. Easy peasy. I'm on the wrong camera. There we go. Okay, before covering the electronics, check, make sure everything is connected. Everything is connected. Cool. Make sure that opens. Yep, that opens. Okay. Covering love board part prep. M310. Hey, we got one right here. Okay. So those go there, and they have a little cover that covers them. Okay. So let's move you over there. This one's gonna be a pain. There we go. Okay, so this got a little cover plate. There we go. The M310. And I'm on the wrong camera again. There we go. Get out of your head. No! Gonna need to be inside. Yeah, is it really hot out? It's 30.8 Celsius in here right now, and it is 2:46 in the afternoon. So, yee. Okay, so that just goes there. Okay, so that, make sure the wires are all nice and tucked in there. Yeah, we're good there, we're good there. That's that, that's that. And that just goes over and snaps. So, there we go. Oh, yeah, it doesn't make a snapping noise, it just kind of Pops into Bazan. Okay, you go there. Oh, there we go. And there we go. Tool head's built. Tension the X belt. Okay. So that's nice and loose. So if I loosen these. Okay. And then tighten, where is that at? That side. Okay. There we go. That feels tension for now. I can always adjust it later if I need to. There we go. Belt tension check. Ooh. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We don't got time. Testing the belt axis. Use the technique, grasp and hold part of that. Move the Okay, I'm gonna check the belt tension using the way I check belt tension. That feels okay. Yeah, it feels okay. That is really smooth movement. That is really smooth movement. And we're done. Tool head is assembled. Easy peasy. So there is the extruder tool head assembly for Mark IV. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, all done. More gummies. I will eat one gummy. Kyle, $7.99. Cheers. I'm starting my boron journey. Going to build an LDO 2.4. Can't decide 300 or 350. I have room for either. What would you recommend? 300. Unless you absolutely need 350, don't build 350. This is 350. This is 300. 350 gets real big, real quick. And this is a Trident, so this is only 250 on the Z. This is 300 on the Z. So 350 would be about like here. And about here. Go. So there we go. We are at that spot. So I'm assuming next is the LCD apparently, but we'll carry on there next week. So yeah, so there is the extruder. That is, I don't have a lot of time on it, obviously. I've only had a Lender Mark IV for like a week. But I will say this tool head is very nice. The way it feeds whatever you feed at it. And also it is threaded up here. So you can put like a little Bowden connector if I can find one that's small enough. You can screw in a little Bowden connector if you're doing reverse Bowden. I don't think this kit comes with a Bowden connector, but it is threaded up top. So you can put a Bowden connector in there if you want to. That is something you can do. No Bowden? Well, reverse Bowden. Reverse Bowden. So yeah, so there we go. So that's most likely to come with MMU3. So I'll probably run a reverse Bowden if I can find a connector for it, just because I like having reverse Bowden. So yeah. Okay, For everyone who asked, Bruno, I'm answering your question like I always answer it. If you don't know which one to build between a Trident and a 2.4, build the Trident, okay? They're both the exact same gantry, okay? The XY motion of both is exactly the same. The only difference is the bed move or the gantry moves. The V2 is a little bit more complicated than a Trident, and is a little bit more finicky to tune, but you have the advantage of a lower center of gravity. However, the gantry itself isn't as rigid because the gantry moves. There needs to be some movement in there, so that means it's not going to be perfectly rigid. But on a Trident, you have a higher center of gravity, so the printer kind of wobbles more at higher speeds, especially at the start of a print, because you have all the weight up top. So we're talking percentage point difference between the two, and like if you put two Benjis up in front of me and tell me one was printed on V2, one was on Trident, nobody will be able to tell the difference. But it's pretty much personal choice. And if you can't justify V2, like if you don't know enough to know which one to go with between Trident and V2, build a Trident, because it just, it's easier. It's a more traditional design. Plus more people need to build Tridents. So. So not wrong in thinking the AV mounts on a Trident. It's literally the exact same gantry. The only difference between a Trident gantry and a V2 gantry is how they mount to the frame. Because a Trident, it mounts directly to the frame, whereas on a V2 you have those little plastic parts so it can attach to the rails. The actual XY motion of the gantry on both is exactly the same. Just some minor tweaks for like cable managing and whatnot. Why the reverse? Reverse Bowden so you don't accidentally tug your spool of filament, causing the filament to break or for it to like hop off the spool. Or cause a kink or a jam. That's why, like on a system like a V2 or even a Trident like this, I'll just use this because it's right here. You have the Bowden right here feeding the filament into the tool head, because otherwise what can happen, and I've seen it happen, and it's more common on a V2 or systems where you have a long distance between where the filament comes into the machine or feeds from. What happens is if you're printing, say we have a V2 here, boom, XYZ. Filament's coming in the back here, and you're printing right here, okay? And you're printing here for so long, there's no slack in the filament tube, right? You got your Bowden inlet here, and the filament's here, okay? And it's tight because there's no slack. All of a sudden, you do a 350 millimeter a second, 20K XL rapid way up here. And what happens to that filament? It goes, ah! And what can happen? I've seen it break. Whereas if you have a Bowden, a reverse Bowden, you always have a set amount of filament in the machine. So when you do that rapid, it just takes that coiled filament and just stretches it out. Like it straightens it out. So you don't have that tug. And that tug can also cause jams. It can also cause it to underfeed for a little bit. Yeah, always run a reverse Bowden. Also in a machine like a Voron where you have an enclosed machine, the Bowden tube kind of protects the filament from getting a little soft. So. Usually Bowden, it's Troy J, Bowden, 3D printing terminology is completely screwed, and people use kind of the wrong terms because that's what everyone uses. A Bowden is just the tube. It's a PTFE tube. It's like people call it, oh, this is a direct feed tool head. No, it's not. This isn't direct feed. Direct feed implies the feed gear is directly on the extruder motor. Or direct drive, sorry. This is a direct drive tool head. This isn't direct drive, this is planetary gear drive. Direct drive is when your feed gear is directly on the stepper motor itself. So a Prusa Mk4 is a direct drive tool head. Guess what? An Ender 3 is also a direct drive extruder because it has the feed gear on the extruder motor. The extruder motor is just not on the tool head. So that's why I call these direct feed tool heads, because it directly feeds the filament from the extruder into the hot end. And I don't use it often, but I would refer to personally a Bowden setup is a Bowden feed or remote feed tool head, because that actually describes the operation of it instead of going, well, it's Bowden. No, Bowden's a thing. It's a tube. It doesn't, like, where a tube has nothing to do with where the extruder is. This extruder directly feeds into the hot end. This extruder on an Ender 3 remotely feeds into the hot end through a Bowden tube. So direct drive, you know, people call these direct drives. Direct drive implies how the extruder is driven. It doesn't directly drive the filament into the tool head. It's a direct drive extruder that directly feeds into the tool head or the hot end. Because it's like, this is a Cartesian machine. So is a Voron. Zeros here, 300, 300 here. It goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, blah, blah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a Cartesian grid. Voron's works on Cartesian. All printers, except for like Deltas, work on Cartesian or polar. That's why I call these bed flingers, because Cartesian is a grid system. It doesn't, you don't call a CNC machine with the moving bed a Cartesian CNC. It's a CNC and the y-axis moves. But we have all kinds, a lot of 3D printing terminology is completely messed up, and we just all use it because that's what everyone uses. So even though I know it's wrong, I use it because if I say, oh, this is direct feed, you go, it's not direct feed, it's direct feed. So, non-Euclidean printer. What you do is you put your printer in a box and you don't look at it, and it's Schrodinger's printer, because either the Benchy's gonna be there or it's not. Level your bed, exactly. You don't level your bed, you tram your bed to the motion of your tool head or the nozzle. So you tram your bed, you don't level your bed. FFF versus FDM. So the reason with FFF versus FDM is more simple. FDM is trademarked. So you actually can't use FDM in a professional environment. Like if I were to sell a printer, I couldn't put FDM in on the label. It's an FFF machine. But me sitting here just using a word, it's like me saying Q-tip. I can say Q-tip. I could say Google. I could say Microsoft. I could say those words. So I like the word FDM versus FFF, because FFF is the slightly frosted flakies to frosted flakes, right? It's the shoot, we can't call it FDM. We have to come up with a not trademark name. So what is reverse Bowden? So reverse Bowden is basically just having a PTFE tube that feeds from your tool head up just to help guide filament. It doesn't even have to go all the way. So, you know, this machine has a reverse Bowden in it, but the reverse Bowden only goes to the back of the machine and it's out a bit. Like the tube's back here. Yeah, where is it? I can't reach it. The tube only comes to like here. So the filament just kind of free balls in the air for a little bit before it goes in a Bowden tube that guides it the rest of the way. Bimetal on Ender 3. Which bimetal? Because here's the thing, if you're having jams and clogging, you could be running wrong temperatures, you could not have enough part cooling, but it could also just be the machining of the bimetal hot end is really bad, and where the two metals meet, you're having a step or something, and it's causing it to jam. So. Okay, oh, it's 3 o'clock, we gotta do this giveaway, because I gotta go. Wheel of names. So if you didn't enter to win the filament from Polymaker, you'll have another chance on Friday, because every stream we do this giveaway. And remember, Friday stream, we are unboxing a Cheedy X Plus 3 3D printer. So we'll be doing an unboxing and first look at that machine. So apparently Cheedy went ahead and they've done some work on the X Plus and the X Max, because I think the first batch that were sent to reviewers had issues. I've got a second batch machine, so apparently they're better now. We will see. I still have the X Smart over there, and I have used it. They've done some updates. It's a functional printer, but I believe they're still running Clipper 10, but they do have Camp on it now. So we'll see. We'll see. So this is a Prusa Mk4. We're on part 2. Give me a number between 2 and 4. I need a number between 2 and 4. 3. 3 works. 1, 2, 3. And round and round she goes. The winner will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. So congratulations. Muse 3D. Muse 3D. Let me just pull up your information here. There we go. Congratulations. So you will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament. So golf claps in chat. So we're going to call it there. We'll carry on next week with part 3 of this build. Hopefully at that point I'm hoping next week is the last, and we should be, because we just got what, the LCD screen, wire everything up, and put the bed on. So next week, hopefully, if all goes well, will be the last assembly stream, and hopefully the auto calibration stream, because it'll do all its little calibration things that Prusa's do. So next stream will be the final build and prep stream and configuration, hopefully, and then we'll do one recap stream after that. So 2 more streams of the Prusa, hopefully, and then once that's done, we're going to move into the VZBot 330. Saturday, so Friday we got the unboxing. Saturday is the last Rook stream, hopefully. If all goes well, we'll be printing on that. And then we'll be Polymaker Saturdays after that. So yeah, I think that's about it. So again, shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament that we gave away this stream and every stream. Link for them and more in the video description. Shout out to you guys, because I bought this with my own money and you guys pay me because YouTube's my job. So shout out to you guys for allowing me to purchase this Prusa kit that we could use on stream for content to hopefully pay itself off. So it's been a good build so far. I'm actually really having fun with the build. Building a Prusa is always fun because they well documented instructions and the kits they just go together. It's like building Lego. So yeah, so we'll carry on next week. For those that donated to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. I would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. So it is Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe out there, wash your hands, and I will see you on Friday. Goodbye. I gotta figure out how to, let's see. Did I mute? No, that.